It is Massive Report, the Columbus introduction for MLS UK. My name is Matt Goshert. With me, Jonathan Smith.
How you doing?
And so what we're going to do is kind of take you guys around, show you what the match day experience in Columbus is like, talk to some supporters, show you what's going on. I think you're going to take everybody inside the stadium a little bit later.
Yeah, we're going to see there's some new improvements to the stadium. If you've never seen Columbus Crew Stadium, it's the first soccer-specific stadium in the U.S. So
It's right there, too.
yeah,
It's right there.
behind us. We'll go in there and then out there and then around and back here.
So we've got Sean here. Sean, where are you from?
Manchester, England.
So he's from Manchester, England. He's going to kind of explain, in case you guys don't know what it is, tailgating. Can you kind of for our viewers explain what tailgating is from an English perspective?
Pretty much before the game, we'll get here like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 hours before the game. Everyone will drink some beers, bring the truck, get some tents, cook out, spend some time with the fans and get ready for the game, pre-game it, go in and have some fun.
Nice. So what are you looking forward to today?
3 points.
That makes sense. That completely makes sense. Cool. Well, thanks a lot, Sean. Appreciate it.
We're here with Crew General Manager Mark McCullers. Mark, talk about this supporters culture that you see behind us. Not something you might see in the UK, but explain that to some of our UK followers.
Well, this is what's known as tailgating. So this is basically a huge party right before our game with some fantastic food. I'm eating the chili. You can see how I got this waistline. It's by hanging out with these guys. But I tell you, it's just a blast, having a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming by.
So from the International Consortium of Soccer Experts, we do have Steve Abreu here today. What's up,
Right.
Steve?
How you doing? Good to be here.
I'm doing well, and so really behind us right now we've got cornhole. To our English audience, see, when I first moved to Ohio, somebody asked me if I wanted to go cornholing, and I was under the impression that was a euphemism for prison sex. So I really wasn't 100% sure what was going on.
Yes.
So can you explain this to our English audience, please?
Yes, it's also called bags by people who maybe are a little bashful. But anyway, it's a game, a very fine game that you can play with a beer in your hand, whereby two teams of two people, one each on opposite ends, throw bean bags towards the boards behind you. If it goes in the hole, you get 3 points.
Yes.
If it lands on the board, you get 1.
Are you allowed to tackle people during this game?
There's no contact in cornhole, which
That's
it's a
probably
little
a
bit,
good thing.
a little bit, maybe doesn't seem that way from the name, but there's no contact in cornhole.
Okay, fair enough. And so you're here from Boston.
That's right. I fly in every year. I've moved to Boston in 2007, and I've flown in for Cruise-Miss every year since.
So, and obviously, you may not know everyone, but in your estimation, how many people come from out of state for this match?
Maybe in Crew Union, maybe 15 to 20 alone, I would
Yeah.
think. I mean, I think if you're going to come to a match, playoffs, but then Cruise-Miss is the time that we all sort of, get the band back together as it was. The off season's a long off season, and there's no better time than Cruise-Miss to see all your friends.
Fair enough. I want to show. I want if our cameraman Sam could indulge me for a second. We're going to spin around here real quick because I want to show Sam something. Thank you so much, Steve. But I do want to show you right here. That is a Nebraska Columbus Crew plate right there. And that's from Hard Hat Mike, but that is a Nebraska Columbus Crew plate. So we do have a bit of a regional footprint here, as you were. So that was Steve. A lot of people out here, a lot of people having a good time, and we'll talk to more of him in a second. So that wraps up our tailgate segment.
And from one bitter American to another, Matt, cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy the game. All right, we are now inside Columbus Crew Stadium, which is, of course, the first soccer-specific stadium in the United States. Where I'm standing right now is where 3,500 crazy Columbus Crew fans stand every single week and yell at the ref and swear and drink and yell at the ref and swear. Did I mention drinking and swear? This is where it happens. This is called the Nordecke, 3,500 strong. Right now there's a reserve match going on. There's still some people straggling around. We will take you over to the place that caused this Nordecke, or at least in part helped start this Nordecke, next on the stadium tour. Like I said, this is the stage area for Columbus Crew Stadium. Now, this wasn't always here. The stadium opened in 1999. This particular part of the stadium started in 2008. It used to be seats like what we were in earlier. But in 2008, the Crew decided, let's put a stage in so we can have concerts, things like that, because let's face it, in America, we've got to find ways to help bring in money. And they have ginormous concerts here, a lot of country music. We're in the Midwest. We have a lot of hillbillies that like that stuff, but we have some big rock concerts that come through. Flogging Molly, a band some of you may be familiar with, is coming to play a show after a Crew game on May 26th. The whole part of that is to say, when they took these stands out, a lot of the supporters groups that sat here moved to over there, which is the Nordecke that we just showed you a little bit earlier, or the Nordecke. So that is something that, despite being a corporate, big money grab, all those kind of things, it's actually become kind of a cool part of Columbus's identity, because now it's part of our supporters' culture. It helped bring those supporters groups together, make them loud, and make them what we know as the Nordecke today. On this part of the stage during a game, you can stand here and watch the game. You can get a beer. They have a big, nice concession stand down here, and it's not a bad view. This is the Crew Reserve League. Some action going on behind me right now. The Crew actually won this league last year. It is, of course, the guys who don't make the starting 18, and then some that do, because the rosters aren't that huge in MLS. Some of these guys are pulling double duty today. Some of them getting back into health and fitness, and some of them are just, well, you know, reserves. But nice little action here. You get a 2-for-1 if you pay for your regular season ticket. You get to watch this game as well. So not a bad 2-for-1. If you happen to be lucky enough to be a Columbus Crew player, or someone unfortunate enough to have to face the Columbus Crew, this is your view. This is how you get onto the field. This is the tunnel area back behind where you're looking at right now is where the locker rooms are for these teams. The visitor locker room is on the left-hand side of where I am, and on the right is, of course, the Crew. That's also where they do their press conferences. So if you've ever wanted to see what it looks like to walk onto a Major League Soccer pitch, well, this is what it is. Not usually, you're not going to be able to get to where we're going to go now, but this is the Columbus Crew locker room. I know it says closed, but we're media, so we get to go in. Nobody behind us, so that's good. We'll take you in here. This is essentially where the Crew start their game day off. They come out of this door behind me. They got a couple nice murals up here on the wall telling us about the history of the club. You've got the U.S. Open Cup. You've got MLS Cup. You've got some of the Crew players' jerseys retired on the walls. And right behind you, you'll see in a little bit, it says, "Do what you do." And that's what the Crew see before they hit the field every week. As we said, there are murals in the Crew locker room as you come out, get ready to go on the field. One of them shows the 2008 season and the MLS Cup that the team won. You'll see on the Crew's logo, obviously, a star, as is customary around many of the leagues in the world. They put a star over the logo when you win a championship. The Crew have won that 2008 MLS Cup, and that's why you see the star on the locker room door. In 2002, the Columbus Crew won the U.S. Open Cup, which is essentially like the FA Cup that you might be familiar with there in England. It's named after the actual original owner of the Crew, Lamar Hunt. It's a very big deal for us, and that is marked by these things that you see behind me here. They are essentially markers that tell us about, what honors the Crew has won. They also won the Supporters Shield in 2004, 2008, and 2009. That is for the league record during the regular season. In MLS, we also have a playoff system, or a knockout stage, if you will, that determines the actual MLS Cup champion, which the Crew won in 2008. So big honors for the Crew. This is where they go, and there's a lot of room on this stadium to add some more of those. We hope to see that in the future.